Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am so glad you're here today. Today is just going to be a chat day, so I'm just hopping on with a few projects that I'm working on, some books, a few other things that I want to talk to you about. I made show notes so I wouldn't get lost as I was putting things together. To do this today, I realized that I have a lot more going on than what I realized that I wanted to talk with you about. So I hope everyone is doing well. As you can hear my voice, I am still, I feel like this is on repeat this year. I am still struggling through whatever it is I had. And I'm not alone. Everybody I keep talking to is like, yeah, it's 2 weeks or more. And I'm only about a week and a half into this. So I blame it on the weather. As you can see, it is beautiful out today. It is, I think it's almost 50. I have to get outside of here. I am gonna do this and finish up and then go out and groom some rabbits today, and take advantage of this gorgeous weather. But we've been in the teens this last weekend. So we are jumping from, I think Sunday it was 17 or 18 for a high, and then today is Tuesday, and it's 50. So I blame a lot of this stuff on that. So let's hop into this video. Again, today is Tuesday, February 20th. This video will be my Wednesday afternoon video. And yeah, let's jump into it. I wanted to first talk about a couple things. I wanted to mention again the Mitten Homesteaders. I will put the link down below. I will be a presenter there at this conference, and I will also be a vendor. This is the first Homesteaders Conference in Michigan. I was looking through my paperwork last week, I think, or this weekend, and they are looking at hopefully like 500 people in attendance. So I am a little bit nervous. I have done a lot of these presentations before. I've done spinning ones, I've done rabbit ones, I've done drop spindling, but never to such a large crowd. And these the people that are going to be presenting along with me, they're the real deal. These are homesteaders that are doing meat production and dairy cows and all of the things. And so I'm really super excited. Scott and I are both going. He's going to come down and be with me and help me. And so when I'm doing my presentation, he can run the booth. And yeah, we're really looking forward to it. So as of the last I heard, I will be presenting on Friday. I don't know what time yet. So if you are in the Michigan area, it's in Lake Odessa, Michigan, which is south of Ionia. So it's pretty south of us here. But again, I will put the link down below so you can check it out. And I would love to meet you guys. I'm working on my thing right now, and I think I only have an hour, so I was worried I would be able to fill that hour, and I think I'm going to fill it plus some. So I have to figure out, I have to hit all the points that I want to hit within the presentation, and then be able to answer questions. I'll be there both days too. I will be there all day on Friday, all day on Saturday. So that is May 17th and 18th. And I'm pretty sure tickets are still available. And watch my Instagram. I keep sharing the posts and things that they're doing, with who's going to be there and what they're talking about. So they've got a really nice variety of people coming in and sharing their experiences and their what they do, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm excited. Also, I did breed 2 of my English Angoras a couple weeks ago now. So I am hopeful. I do believe it was a successful breed. I think they're both young. but I'm pretty sure that it took. We'll see here in a few weeks. But they are, I bred Scarlet, which is my red English Angora, to Flynn, who is my other English red Angora. So there is a high probability, although those genetics can do funny things sometimes, the color genetics, there's a high probability that I will have some red English Angoras for sale coming up this spring. So watch out for that if you're interested. I may do, not a pre-sale, but I may put a post out there here in the next week or two if you're interested. And I may wait to make sure that I actually have a batch of babies that are, that it actually worked. But I may send out an email with, if you are interested in putting your name on one, how to do that. And yeah, we'll see if we can get you an English Angora in your hands if you're interested. So keep watch for that. Did I say they are due March 9th? So Easter is end of, I think end of March. So Easter is a little bit earlier this year. So they'll be almost spring babies. Although with this weather, who can tell anymore? So I'm really excited. I have not had any babies on the farm. I don't believe I did any breeding last year at all. So it's been almost 2 years since I did any breeding. And especially with the colors that are coming out of these. So I'm super excited to see those. I did a video that was up Sunday. And it was working with mohair and Angora in 2 different ways. If you haven't watched that, I'll link a card up here at the top. You can go watch that. But I showed you how and explained to you how I was working with my mohair and my Angora and blending that, and a couple of different ways that I did that. And I promised, I didn't finish the yarn in the video. I was still working on it. I wanted to show you the process, but I promised you that I would show you. And so I have it done. And I just took this off the bobbin this morning. So I did it 2 different ways. Excuse me. I did one skein of this is with a bobbin of mohair and a bobbin of Angora applied together. The other skein I did was I put both the mohair and the Angora on the drum carder and showed you how to do that. And then I spun from that bat that I made. So this is what the finished, and I know it's so hard to see yarn on these videos when you're not in person. You can't feel it and touch it. But this is the 2 bobbin fiber. So this is 1 strand of mohair, and this is from Hyacinth. She is more of a tan colored Angora, and this is from gray, actually it was chestnut fiber that I spun, and I have a bunch of chestnuts out there, French chestnut Angoras, and so it was kind of a blend of a bunch of those. And so that's what the 2-ply 2 bobbin yarn turned out like. It is soft and squishy, lots of halo. I do have a few of these fun blurbs in here that I don't know how that ended up like that, but it just did. So there's that one. And then the other skein I did was with the carded mohair Angora. And I figured this was probably about 30-70 mohair, or I'm sorry, 30% Angora, 70% mohair. I did not weigh anything. I just kind of did it very naturally. But that is this one. And this turned out beautiful too. This is from Jelly Bean. And she is a charcoal Angora goat. So this is mohair and Angora. Lots of beautiful color in there. So they turned out really good. I'm really happy with them. I wish you could feel it. I wish we had squish-o-vision, but it is beautiful. So again, that video is up if you want to see how I did that. For those of you who are new here, I am not a technical spinner. I say this almost every video, depending on what I'm talking about. I love the creative side of spinning. And so if you're looking for, and I do get into some of the technical stuff, fractal spinning and different things like that, that is more on the art yarn side of things. I do enjoy doing that. But my spinning is very much a creative art for me. And so I like the bumps and bobbles and different things in my spinning. I like my spinning to look homespun. There are times and places for very consistent, even yarn. I do make some of that every now and then, but I tend to kind of gravitate towards yarn that is very much homespun, and I just love it. It's beautiful. So those turned out great. I have talked about in the past a couple of books. I am working through both of them. Completely Angora and Angora Handbook for Spinners. I am halfway through this one right now. If you guys can get your hands on a copy of this, do it. I wish I would have known that these were around 20 years ago. I wish I would have had this in my library then. I actually just purchased this recently. I tend to get going on stuff and then I don't know, I do things the way I do things, and I don't always do things differently. And then I read a book like this and it's like, oh, this is such a great book. I bought mine used. Mine is taped. It is marked. I didn't care because that's what I was going to do with it anyways. I was going to highlight it and everything else. It's a really beautiful book. The first page just brought me such joy. Oops, I just lost my spot. That's okay, I'll find it again. But beautiful drawings. And I actually have learned a few things already just in the first half of this book. There are things that I guess in the back of my brain I assumed or thought that that was why it was what it was, but she kind of, or they kind of solidified it. And so that's been nice to just kind of confirm what I think or thought, because again, I've mentioned this before too. There are going to be people out there that are going to say you have to do it this way or you have to do it that way. You can't do this, you can't do that. You must use this, you must use that. I am not a believer in those statements. Yes, you have to take care of your rabbits. Yes, you have to feed your rabbits. Yes, you have to, all the basic stuff. Those things are a must. But when we get into the nitty gritty of the tools we use and how we do things, I think everybody's going to do it in a different way. Do we do cages? Do we not do cages? And she touches on some of that in the book. Not in that way, but she, for example, one of the things I read was that she does not recommend grooming your rabbit on a daily basis. She says go for every 2 weeks to a month, which is the schedule I'm kind of on right now. And I get flustered with myself because I'm thinking, Renee, you need to groom them more often. You need to groom them more often. According to her, she said that grooming on, she said a daily basis, is tendency to cause wool block in rabbits. And that totally makes sense to me, because when you do groom your rabbit, like even a day or two after you have groomed them, you will find a ton of fur in their cage. Not a ton, I shouldn't say a ton, but there's always, it seems like once you start grooming them, it comes and it comes and it comes. And so the reality is they're licking themselves after you groom them and stuff too. And that totally makes sense in my mind, because yeah, there would be fiber that they would be eating in this case. So that was one of the nice things to kind of confirm in my own mind, that my every 2 weeks to 4 weeks on grooming is an okay thing. Now there might be rabbits that you have that you may need to groom a little bit more than that, just because of their fur, their fiber. Another interesting thing she talked about, and I won't ruin this book for anybody, but she talked about the difference between clipping and combing and plucking, and why once you start something on a rabbit, you might want to continue doing it that way. So I thought that was kind of interesting. So I did buy my book used. I got it for $20 or $25, I think, used. Please, please, please do not spend $150 on this book. I think that's what Amazon has them listed for new. Keep your eye out for them. Don't just go through Amazon. Actually, I don't think this one, I can't remember. One of these did not come from Amazon. One of these came from a used bookseller that I just went into a Google search and looked and found it fairly cheap. And this wasn't even in good condition, I don't think. I think it was used in fair. But it's all here, and I can go and continue to mark it up and use it. But it's an amazing book. I have not gotten into this one yet. Like I said, I'm almost halfway through this one, and then I'm going to move into this one. I did start another book. Yeah, my book piles grow. This one is off from the Angora Fiber Marketplace Facebook page, and they were doing a book group on this. I actually haven't jumped on that recently to see where they're at on this, but I have been reading this book. It's called Fiber Shed. Super interesting book. And it's basically it's growing a movement of farmers, fashion activists, and makers for a new textile economy. So it's super interesting if you geek out on the side of, wearing natural fibers and making natural fiber items. This is a great book. I am only into the first couple chapters here, but I've really enjoyed it so far. So I'm working through both of those. Hopefully the next time I hop on here for a chat, I will have all 3 of these done, and maybe I will do a chat on the books. So I do have a couple of whips. I have one finished object. This is a very basic pattern. This was actually the Claire shawl, which it was meant to be worn, Claire from Outlander, but it's meant to be worn this way, like that. I haven't been wearing it that way. I have been wearing it this way, which is how I usually wear most of mine, but it can be worn the other way. So I finished this. This is a super easy crochet pattern. It's got some detail to it, but it was one where I could just sit and crochet. I actually started this in mid-December, I think. I'd have to go back and look. And I finished this a couple weeks ago, and I love it. So this is out of, actually, I pulled out the tag, but I don't think this is the right tag to this yarn. This is a Noro yarn, which is a Japanese yarn company, which I fell in love with their yarn. Last year we went to a yarn shop up north when we were on a trip, and she carried a bunch of this yarn, and the shop owner, I talked to her forever, and she actually said she got to meet the guy who started this company, and it was super interesting to me. If you've ever seen Noro yarns, and I don't have any more, I bought a few skeins. The color patterns with the Noro yarns are amazing. Like it looks like he took yarn colors and just threw them down and created these beautiful yarns. This one's pretty subdued compared to some of his other stuff that he makes or the company makes, but yeah, so it's a Noro yarn, and I want to say it was not this one. I thought it was this, but this is a tag to a different one that I had. I don't know if this was the Noro silk. I don't know. If I find the tag, I will link it down below, but if you get on the Noro, a lot of people sell the Noro yarn, so you can find it if you get on Google. So I love this. It's actually too warm for this today. So that is my only FO. I think I showed you these last time. I have not gotten very far on these. These are socks I'm working on. These are typically my car if I'm not driving, which seems like lately I'm driving a lot, but these are my in the car driving, working on socks. And these were from Homespun House, one of her sock set. And yeah, I haven't gotten very far on that. I would like to maybe finish that. Yeah, Homespun House has a lot of beautiful yarns too that she dyes. So that one is still a work in progress. This next one I've had to rip out once. This is one of those, again, for those of you who are new here, I am a much better crocheter than I am a knitter. And so my knitting has been limited to small projects. I have done a knitted vest before. I'm trying to think of what else. I do small knitted things, but I want to make a full-size knitted sweater. That's been my goal for years. I've probably been saying that for 5 years. And I have, this will hopefully be the year that I finish some of my projects in bags. I found some more yesterday that are 3 or 4 years old. I think I bought some kits when the world shut down a few years ago. I thought, what a perfect time to knit my sweater, and I never did get it done. So I am actually doing the Weekender, which is just one of those patterns. This is a paid pattern. I got it off Ravelry. And I just love the look of this sweater. And I am hoping that I will finish it. I struggled. I had to rip this out once already. This is and you knitters out there are gonna just grind your teeth at me. I did not do a swatch, a gauge swatch, so I'm hopeful. I know someday I will be a better knitter, I promise. But I am holding together. This is some yarn that I bought on a sale from Sestari Farms. Sestari Sheep and Wool Company. And I'll try to remember to link that. And so I bought a sweater quantity of this green. This is the color Charity. And this is a wool cotton blend. 50-50? Yep, 50-50. And so I am actually holding 2 strands together to make, I was going to do just one, and then I didn't like how that looked. So I started over again, and then I had to rip that one out. So I'm back at it. I learned a new cast on. This is a, let's see, just a minute. I am not familiar with this. It was a tubular cast on. So there's a video connected to this. And then I think the video I found was someone else, and it was the video for the Weekender. So she cast it on for the Weekender. And once you do it, it's easy. It was just getting there. And so I'd never done a tubular cast on before, so I got that. This sweater is done where you do, this is the bottom hem, the bottom, why can't I think of the word? You're all yelling at me. Yeah, hem, I guess. And this is a 1x1 knit purl, and it's going to be 2.5 inches. And then you start your second one. You can either put this on waste yarn or put it on another set of needles, and then you start your second one just like this, and then somehow you put the 2 together. So that will be new for me too. So I am hoping to get through this bottom hem, both bottom hem parts, and get it put together, and then just start rolling on it because it'll be knit in the round. And I hope to finish this before the end of 2024. We will see. So yeah, I just love this sweater. I love the looks of this sweater. So we shall see how far it goes. But that is my other whip that I am working on diligently. And then the other thing I wanted to mention is what I'm working on is a whole bunch of the Angora stuff. I am working on, this is actually for, again, like I said, at the homesteading conference, I'm going to have a booth, and I am working on earrings. These are my leaf earrings. I am working on bracelets. I have some started here. I have some finished here. You see all that beautiful halo. I've been working on a couple different patterns. This is a new pattern. So sun's starting to rise up here. So this is just a basket full of Angora pieces that I need to put together. The bracelets need either to be put together, or there's a green one, or have the buckle put on them. I have some of those. I have some fun, let's see, that's not an earring. I have some flower earrings here. I have my leaf ones. I just have all kinds of stuff in here. I have some that are partially done. So I have been working on that, hoping to restock. I've got some circle ones that I'm working through. So this is just a basket of Angora, whether it's dyed or natural. Obviously, you can tell the difference. This is all different colors that I've done or do. There's the burgundy. There's lots of white. So lots of beautiful colors. So my jewelry is actually on my website. If you're ever interested in getting some, I think that's all the different colors I have here. And so yeah, that is my last thing that I'm working on. So I think that's all I want to talk to you guys about today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, please click that like button on it. And if you don't already, please subscribe to my channel. I usually put videos out on Wednesdays and Sundays. We are getting closer and closer to spring, and yeah, hopefully we'll be doing some more outside stuff here soon. I want to do the 1-year anniversary on my rabbit colony and show you that and things I'm going to change a little bit this year. And I have a few other ideas out in the rabbit barn that I want to work on. So stay tuned for all of that. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I hope you get to create something today. Thanks.